All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The Smithsonian's.
Smithsonian.
All right, yeah, welcome special guest here today. And
My name is James A. White Sr. The reason why I say James A. White Sr. because I have a son. His name is James A. White. So you have to show some distinction with that. You know, my background is I am a training consultant. I've had my company now for about 33 years, and the company's called Performance Consulting Services. And what I do, I work with individuals, groups, and organizations and assisting them in identifying development tools and resources that they can use to empower themselves so that they can find, whatever performance excellence is for them, and that's what they do. And so my role is to assist them in finding those tools and resources in doing that. I've been doing this, as I said, for 33 years. My company, I've worked with large companies, Procter & Gamble, Federated, Radio Shack, Honda, Toyota, General Motors. I've been in probably most counties in Ohio, most state agencies in Ohio. I've been in a number of city offices in Ohio. I've done private stuff. I also do some coaching. And, and the thing for me, I've just loved this work. And prior to me doing this work, I was a representative. And I was a sales representative for Xerox back in the day when they first started with copiers. And I did that for 10 years here. I did it also for about 4 years in New York City. And then I had a couple years at the Xerox International Training and Development Center right outside of Washington, D.C., in a small little town out there, where I work with new staff, I work with seasoned staff, and assisting them to be able to be effective as sales reps, men, women, across the board. I really enjoyed that. So I've had a pretty extensive background in engaging and working with people. And I think even at this point, many people say, man, why don't you retire? And my thing is, retire for what? There's so much to do, and all I do is talk. And so I'm kind of comfortable talking and sharing, but I do feel that as a result of all of those years that I've had experience and exposure, I feel I have to give it back. I have to give information back. I have to give data back to those people who are in need. And for me right now, I want to look at my own community, African-American males, females. That doesn't exclude white, that doesn't exclude Asian, European, or what have you. But my thing is to start with my own folks. And if anyone else wants to be able to tap into any resources that I have, I'm more than happy to share those things with them. So that's kind of where I am, man. And I appreciate the opportunity to sit down and have you do what you do.
Right.
I look forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Cool. Mr. White,
Hey,
thank you for
how
coming
are
on.
you? My pleasure, man. I've been looking forward to this.
You've been looking forward to this.
Yes, I have.
I've been looking forward to this.
Right.
We heard about your introduction, and the reason we connected is because AI.
Yeah.
But I think you're the original AI.
Man, I absolutely love AI, but I thought I loved AI, and then when you were talking to me, and all of a sudden you took off your glasses and you showed me the whole conversation that we were having, and I didn't even know that we were having that conversation. I mean, living that through AI, I was like, wow. So there's no limit to AI. I really believe that AI is an opportunity for us to make a quantum leap.
Yes.
Quantum leap. Because traditionally, folks have to go to school to get information, to get data. Right. And I'm not saying not to go to school, but what I am saying is that there's a whole lot of information that you can get off of AI that people need to be tapping into. And I love it.
So let's not get too far ahead. Let's take it real slow.
All right. You know
what is AI to you? Like, because people they're scared of it. Like,
I know they're frightened. They're frightened.
Yes.
AI to me is like having my own administrative office beside me.
Okay.
Anytime I have an idea, anytime I have a thought, I can just say, hey, Chat, because I name my AI. We kind of dialogue, man. I say, Chat, what's up? Chat says, James, I'm fine. How are you doing? Chat, I've been thinking about a few things. Can you help me with this? James, whatever you want, just go ahead and ask me, and I'll do my best to provide you with the answer. And then it starts.
Yep.
And anything that I ask it, I'm writing letters, I'm putting together trainings. I have one book that I'm trying to finish up, A Better World 2. And between AI and myself, we kicked off 47 pages of information, man, that would have taken me months to do, or I would have had to pay someone to do it. But AI does it representing me. And if for some reason I don't like something, I say, AI, that's good. Can I give a quick example?
Yes.
I asked AI, I said, AI, I'm doing some training, but I want to do some training with the VA. But what I need is an image. I need to show a guy teaching people who are veterans. I said, can you give me an image of that? So AI shot an image to me. And the image that he shot to me was a white dude with an all-white audience. I said, that's a nice picture, but guess what? That does not represent me. I am an old, Black, African-American male with gray hair. I said, no, I like to be neat, and I don't want to wear a tie, but I want to wear a jacket, and I must have a diverse audience, and I must have African-American females in that diverse audience sitting all around. Came back, everything that I asked for, it gave me, and it gave me some options. Is that guy okay? Do you need more gray hair? Do you do... Man, and AI did it in like seconds. I said, like, wow, sold me. It sold me. After 30 some odd years on my own company and another 20 years with major corporations, Xerox, Digital, Wayne Laboratory.
Yeah.
It's my partner, man. That's what AI is for me. I just absolutely love it. And I think people need to grab it.
I'm glad you said that because I'm 33 years old.
Yeah, you're baby, man. You're baby.
So I was in the world when the first digital camera became available, and that's when you started. So I need you to help me see how far it came along.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, it's living proof, like 30 years up.
Yeah. Yeah.
AI is stronger than me. Like, damn, like we're both using AI. So that's the thing I want to help viewers understand.
Okay.
So I'm Smith Francois, the founder of 4S program. And, I just help fresh entrepreneurs with their journey. And you've been doing this like live in person, talking to people. And I'm working on that.
Yes.
So it's a good duo. And that's why we're here. I love your presentation at the New American Leadership Academy. So it's like, there's so many things jewels you drop. I don't want to backtrack too much, but I do want to help you. I want you to share with the audience.
Whatever you want, man.
When you talk about the computer, like that's when I knew like this is it. When you talk about how you use the computer model to explain DEI or how be inclusive with the virus. I don't know if you want to share that.
Yes. When we did our book, the model that we used for our book was we had a computer talking to people.
Yes.
And what the computer did, as we were talking, the computer says, you know what, Jim? And I was working with two other guys, Dan and also Dan Houston and Les Helms. And so all three of us were there. And so we said, the computer says to us, you folks do some really strange things. And we said, well, no, computer, what do you mean? They said, you will look at someone and try to and reach a conclusion about them, whether they're good, bad, right, or wrong, and then make a decision to hire or to not hire that particular individual. And a computer would never, ever look at another computer and try to reach any conclusion about it, because the computer knows that you have to have an operating system. You have to know what kind of software that computer is using. And then we have to be able to dialogue and give and receive from each other before we reach a conclusion. But you people do it just like that. And it is so, so inappropriate. And I'm sure that you lose a lot of folks as a result of doing that because you label them inappropriately.
Yep.
And so that's the piece that we start with in terms of dealing with that. And then the computer also says, sometimes as computers, we get a virus. And we said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, we kind of get mixed up about what we're doing, what kind of software, what kind of answers. He said, but for us, we have something that helps us that will scan our computer. And then we have virus detectors. And with the virus detectors, if we have a virus, then it will do a virus scan and it will clean up all the stuff that we're saying and doing wrong. And it gets us on the straight and narrow. So then it looked at us and said, what do you do with your viruses? Do you ever have a virus? And that opened the door for what is a virus? A virus is when I inappropriately look at a person and inappropriately label them. Good, bad, right, wrong, racist, prejudice, what have you. And when I see things that way and my mind gets confused, what do we have as human beings to get us back in alignment? And the thing that we were doing, because we were 3 sales reps, so what we were trying to do is to say, if that's happening to you and happens to all of us, that's why you should take diversity or cultural training classes. Because with that, what it does, it allows you to clear your mind. It allows you to ask questions. It allows you to see that there may be some other ways for you to think, to do, to interact, to engage.
Exactly.
That's the piece. Yes.
Yes, exactly why I think you're pre-AI. Like you built AI. You're not saying, you're not disclosing it, but I think when I heard that story, I'm like, wow, like they built AI.
Yeah. I would love to think I contributed to it. I'm still waiting for them to send me a check.
And this
might be the check. The check, I think, really would be able to share those ideas and those concepts with other people.
Correct.
That's really where I am. I just want to do something. I want to make a contribution.
You're making it around.
With that, That's what I want to do. Any way that I can to help people to see clearly, just assist people in identifying what they need to move forward. Whether it's 1 step or whether it's 10 steps, whether the person is 10 or whether the person is 80 or 90, same as myself. If I can assist, I want to do that.
Because earlier you mentioned more some big companies, Exxon, things of that nature. It's like, and they're downsizing or they may not be in score.
Right.
But let's share some things for the new entrepreneurs because you're loving AI. So for example, me, I do video, but like, let's get some tangible advice to people that's starting a business now in Columbus, Ohio. Have the Aerial, the drones are coming here, the Google, all these big companies. Like, how do we as humans like be independent? Because you start off working, but then you build your profile as a business. So I'm fresh entrepreneurs. So that's the audience we're talking to. Like, what advice would you give?
When you think about that, the first thing that you got to know you, and you have to know what is it that you're going to offer to a population of people that will really allow them to be able to achieve whatever that goal is that they're looking for. And so I need to be very clear about myself. I need to have my mission. I need to have my vision. I need to know what my critical success factors are. And critical success factors are those things that I must have and that I must do in order for me to achieve my goals and to achieve my objectives. And then once I know what it is that I do, what I try to do, I really try to look at that that customer. I try to find out what it is that they need, whether, now frequently people will come to me and tell me that, but when I was in sales, we would do that initial benefit statement that we would share with them about the products that we're using, and then try to get a few moments with them and find out what they're doing, and then show how what we are doing will allow them to continue to do what they're doing, but only better. We knocked on the door. We did cold calls, right? Yes. And they never called us. They just say, hey, we want you to come over. We said, hey, we got something for you that you need.
Yes.
But in doing that, what we would do or to improve upon what it is that they're doing. But the key for me is you got to know you, and you have to be comfortable with you, and you have to be honest with you in terms of what product do I have and what does that product look like? And do I know it? I mean, I know training inside and out, and if someone says I need to train somebody to do X, Y, Z, shoot, I'm the guy, man,
Yes.
And I'm ready. I don't care who they are. I don't care where they're from. I don't care what their ethnicity is. I don't care what their gender is. I don't care what their sexual orientation is. I have that stuff in my head so that I can connect with them. And how do I connect? I connect with them, of course, by listening.
Okay.
I'm working from there.
Two-sided question. You said focus on yourself, meaning
know yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do offer a checklist you gave me to ask people that's close to me to.
Yep.
So it's practical things we have to do. Like it's not go straight to AI, try to build a business plan. You have to understand self.
Yes.
And then the second piece, cold sales, like you have to go out to people. Like
right.
So that's one piece I'm learning for myself. Like I say it, but it's not. You had to go.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. Back in the day when I was doing that, I mean, we did what they call cold calls. We actually walked up and down the street and knocked on doors. But what we did in the organization, we had in our organization a list of all the companies in the territory that I was assigned to. We had the names of the people who were in those organizations, what their role functioned, And I think it was called the 20K report. And so we had that data, had information about them. So when we knocked, we knew who we wanted to talk to, and we knew what they were doing. And if someone says, well, what is it that you want? Well, what it is, we are a copy company. And then I would go through my spiel. Okay. And I had that spiel, boom, 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 down, And so what I was trying to do is to share with them that we have something that we think could be a real significant benefit to them. And if they would give us, some time, 20, 30 minutes as an opening, to see whether or not what we have will really address the kind of things that you're trying to deal with and the kind of challenges you may be experiencing. And so that's the kind of rap that we would start off with back then.
Okay. Would that be part of SWOT analysis? Studying your opponent, like your weakness or their weakness?
Yes. It would be. SWOT analysis would be a perfect way of being able to do that. But you said something else I think is important. We think we know ourselves, but unless we have taken assessments, and I like what I call 360-degree assessments, that means not only am I getting information from my friends, my buddies, but I'm getting information from people that I've only known for a short time period. Also, I want to get some information from someone who I know don't like me.
Yes, allies. You need them. Yes.
I said, because you never know, that person who's struggling with you may have a piece of information and data about you that you may not have thought about. So I want to hear from them. And then I take in all that information. And what we have been using was the emotional intelligence assessment today. I've been doing the emotional intelligence assessment now for probably 25 years. But we also have social styles, thinking styles, whole brain, Myers-Briggs, all those other pieces of assessment. And then you can kind of create some pieces yourself with some people that you know. But them giving you that feedback about you so that you know and understand what are those things that I do well, what are some of those things that I'm not aware of that I do, what might be some of my idiosyncrasies that I have that I need to check, that I need to be, because I don't want those to slip out when I'm talking to a client. How do I deal with rejection? Because you're going to get rejected. What is your hot button? Everybody has a couple hot buttons, right? Somebody can reach in and touch that hot button and the sale is over, the call is over,
Right.
So you have to know those kind of things. And that's the starting point. So it takes work to get there.
Okay. So these assessments and things, you offer it.
Yeah, I have plenty of them. You can get them online, but I also have them too that I can share with you. And I can tell you, I do about probably 15 of them myself.
Okay.
Some of them are smaller ones, and then some are much larger. It's like emotional intelligence. You can get, a basic book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. In that is an assessment, but that's when you're doing it on yourself. Or you can get assessments that you share with other people.
Right.
And then the big one that I do when I'm dealing with corporations, that's when they get an assessment. They send you some information that says, give me anywhere from probably 15 to 30 people that you work with, your manager, your peers, your blah, 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 some of your clients. And they give that information. They send out everything to the clients.
Okay.
The clients send everything back to them. They then put together a report, and you end up with a document about you from all these people in about 65 different categories.
Okay.
And that's eye-opening.
Yes. So how do people reach out to you if they need your service? Because one thing I want to say is I'm going through therapy too. So it's a lot of things you teach is I'm learning the whole aspect. So it's I haven't been through all your courses.
Right.
But it's I'm learning through therapy, the things that you taught me already. It's you already said it, but it's just hitting different.
Right.
Yes. But how do people reach out to you?
Probably the best way would be email jwhite, 2 at columbus.rr.com. JWHITE, 2 at columbus.rr.com, or 614-252-3266.
Okay.
That would be the contact information. And then from there, what I do is try to talk to people, see where they are, see what they need. And I do have a lot of information, man. I teach about 17 or 18 courses. And then out of those courses, we custom design other things from different companies. One company that we're dealing with right now, they have people who are answering the phones, and they're having some difficulty with the people who are, and they're ones who are answering the phones, because sometimes people can be very, very nasty.
Yes.
And so they're just coming at them real hard. And what we're trying to do is to help them to understand you can't let anybody penetrate your spirit. It's a job.
Yes.
It's a job. It's not personal. They don't know you. Those people on the other line is angry at something that the company did.
Yes.
They haven't had any opportunities to really be able to express themselves, or they did and they got rejected. So when you pick up the phone, guess what?
Fire!
That's right. They're going to fire you up. You got to figure out, okay, how am I going to manage this? But if you take that stuff personally, it's all over for you. So we're working with them to help them to be able to take those telephone calls, manage those customers. And the ones who are upset, allow them to be upset. And then after they scream and shout, say, now that you're finished, right? Do you want to talk? And we also find that if we ask every organization, do you allow your employees to take abusive, foul language from clients? And they don't. So we know that when a person starts to do that, you can tell the people, if you continue to use that kind of language, I'm going to have to disconnect with you.
Okay.
And we work it that way. So that's some of the stuff, man.
All right. So like this, Mr. James White, like he's powerful. Like you do that, but like you're a mediator. Like it's like business people can reach out to you if there's a issue with another party. It's like
I have a program called Empowerment Teaming, and what I do, and what we designed this was for like executives initially. If you had two executives, well, one executive and one person's working with that executive, they could be a junior person, what have you. But what we looked at is how do we help them to increase the effectiveness of the two of them coming together.
Okay.
And so what we do, we will work with one person for a half a day. What are you doing? Where do you want to go? That's your style. Then we work with the other senior person for a half a day. And then after that, we bring the two of them together.
Okay.
And then and so we're looking at how can we become empowered partners.
Okay.
But we show them how to step right up that line and do that. And then that evolved into some people were having some problems, angry with each other. So we bring them in, almost do the same identical thing, but find out what those problems are and then be able to work through those. So because conflict in an organization, really, really important to be able to resolve those, because if there's a conflict, that means that maybe somebody likes this person and somebody likes the other person. So it's not just two people, you got a whole organization.
How do you deal with that type of environment? Like, there's people that
toxic environment. In toxic environments, what I start off with is an empowerment model. I tell them that there's 5 kind of people in the organization. There's victims, people who say it ain't never my fault, it's always somebody else, right?
Right.
And you can't really depend on. Then you have passive people who know what to do, but they're afraid to do it. They're like, I ain't gonna do nothing you tell me to do. And I'm stopping right. Say, why didn't you finish the project? Well, you didn't tell me to go that far. You told me to stop there.
That's me.
I ain't going no further. Then after that, you have people who are active. And those are the people who finally realize, if it is to be, it's up to me. I have a sense of responsibility within that area that I'm working in. And so I'm going to work it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it as far as I can based upon where I am. Then we have highly active people who will take it outside of that spot because they know and understand the organization, and they're willing to take a little bit of risk, because, I know the organization going here, I know what they'll do. No one's around, I'm making the decision, boom, I'm going to go ahead. And then finally, we have people who are accomplished. And those are the ones who seem to be at the right place at the right time. It's just that they've been around for a while. They also have their own development plan. They know what they want to do. They know where they want to be. They know where the organization is going. So they're in that mix. They're working it, man. And the people value them, and they feel good about themselves. So that's the first thing that we do. So we find out in the organization, what's going on? Do we have a lot? Because you got a lot of victims and passive. Boy, you got a toxic organization.
I got to switch my position.
Yeah, you got a toxic.
I got to get out of there.
Well, you got to get out of that passive. Because lots of people have the knowledge, they have the skills, they know what to do, but they're afraid if I do this, they're like,
Yeah.
and the reason why they feel that way, they saw somebody else do something and they got smacked, and they said, well, shoot, I don't have to get smacked to get the message.
Yeah, that's what I'm working with therapy too. Is like I taking things that out of context, like Haiti, like Haiti's set the world free, but like, they're still being punished. It's like those trigger points. Like people are like, why do I support Haiti so much? It's like it's that entangled. So I'm decoding some things or
That's good.
unclouding some things. It's like
Yeah, we got to get inside of ourselves, man,
yes.
and be okay, and know those things that hit my last nerve. And then what I say is, once I find out what that piece is, then I ask myself, what is it about me that causes me to have a reaction to that piece?
Yes.
What's going on inside of my head? What's going on inside of my psyche that makes me react when someone says this, that, boom, boom, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
because we need to know that.
Right.
That's an important piece.
Yep, that's what I'm working on. It's like, it's like definitely want to see more of you. Like,
my pleasure.
It's like people like you got a taste of it, but like he's here in Columbus, Ohio, we're here, and give us one more piece that you see right now. Just one advice for me or just somebody.
I think where we are right now in the society that we're in, with the political perspectives and views that are out there right now, I think we can't take in too much of the negativity in that stuff, because you know what the deal is. And what that says, I need to prepare myself to be the best me that I can be, to get as much knowledge as I can possibly get, to know those areas that are healthy areas for me to really move in, and those areas that maybe is not healthy for me to move in. I think that's a piece now. We have to reinforce our skill base, and we can't let anyone, White House, Brown House, Yellow House, Pink House, to intimidate us. Because my thing is like, hey, bro, bring it on. I'm ready, and I want to know what it is. And I'm going to have a skill that I'm hoping that other people will need, but I'm going to make sure that I'm okay with me, so that no matter what comes down the pike, I'm going to be able to manage it and be able to move forward on it. That's what I think is important. And don't get hooked up in all the anger and back and forth. I mean, we know what the deal is. And if you don't know, then pick up a book.
Say it again for the camera.
Right, yeah. Pick up a book, educate yourself. Stop listening to what Joe said and what Chacon said and Mary Sue and Daquan and all. No. Do some reading for yourself. There's a lot of information out there for me. I look at a lot of historical stuff that can tell you exactly what the administration is doing. I mean, exactly, because it's not new. Everything that's going on now has happened before.
Yep, nothing under the sun.
Right.
It's my favorite book in the Bible.
Yep. Yeah, but that's it. Yep. Yeah. And the Bible has a lot of verses, and I think that reading the Bible gives you a good base or foundation. But then you have to take it from the scripture and say, now, what does that look like today where I am based upon what I'm doing?
Correct.
Because I feel that the Lord has given me a mind and a brain, and my responsibility is to use it to its optimum.
Yes.
So I need to use it because it was given to me.
Right.
And if I don't use it, then it's on me, not on God.
Correct. Be a creator, produce
Yes.
Yeah, like it's an image. Yes.
Because the answers are out there.
Correct. Yes. If you guys want to see Mr. James White again, like you guys have to, there's a different him where he's outside cameras, like he goes, but you have to be, aware of our surroundings. But this man is very brilliant. It's like every time I'm around him, it's like gold is drip, like just given to me. It's like, wow.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I don't know if you want to talk about it yet, but like you talk about gyms. Like
my thing, Gems for Jim.
Yes, that'll be coming out soon.
I'm working on that. I have a concept that's called GEMS from JIM''S. So Gems from Jim, which means that there are things that I'm putting together, little ideas, little concepts that say this is a gem. If you grab this and if you really start to look at that, it's going to be something of significant value to you. And I just think that there are so many little nuggets that are there that sometimes just grabbing one It's almost like, when you go to the Chinese restaurant
Okay.
and you open up the little cookie, right?
Fortune cookie. Yeah.
And they have a little fortune piece in there. What I want to be able to do is for people to open up a book, a page, or what have you, and to read something that can really be of value to them.
Okay.
And I would like to be able to have it so that if people are looking for certain kinds of input, that they could almost search that topic and bingo, there would be some things for them. So I have them down. I mean, I have some of them down.
Okay.
I have to.
But you have books, though. You have
Oh,
books,
yeah.
and then you work on more. So it's like they're there. So you have to seek, and you should find.
Yeah, my first book, A Better World. And what we were doing with The Better World was providing people with the fundamentals around diversity. What is diversity? What does it look like? How can you assess yourself? Those kind of things. Because right then, everyone was really confused. Now, this A Better World 2 that I'm coming out is I want to take it up to the next step, but this to be more meaningful. I want people to be able to read this one and really get some things out of it that's going to be in their best interest. I'm still not in the blame mode. I'm still not going to give any names about who, and what. But what I want them to be able to do is to read this to say, wow, this just makes a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
So, and I have a lot of work. I have a lot of pages, probably 67, probably more than that. I think the last shot was probably about maybe 120 pages. So.
All right. Yeah, it's like, I'm telling you guys, like, there's many times I met with him, like, he's talking about historical facts. Like, he breaks down, like, things. I'm like, wow. I know I have an idea of it, but, like, he's like, here. It's like, wow. It's like, yeah, go do research on them. I'm like, wow. It's like, you don't have to do this thing alone. So, like, entrepreneurs, like, you have to go out, understand yourself, and then seek those who have the knowledge.
Right. And there's so many knowledgeable people out here, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm finding. I mean, there's so many folks who've been out here. They've been through it. And it could be your next door neighbor, it could be someone down at the grocery store. But anytime you can tap into someone that has a perspective that's different than yours, that's knowledge.
Correct.
It doesn't mean you have to follow it, but it says I need to take it in and process it and see where it is and work for me, or maybe I can pass it on to someone.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. Make sure you don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know, like, what key points you want to drive into. And Mr. James, like, one more time, it's like, how do people find you? How do we reach out to you?
My email address is jwhite, 2, @columbus.rr.com. And then 614-252-3266. So that's where I am right now. And I did have a website. We're putting it back up. So we had a website for 33 years and it disappeared. So we're redoing it.
Yeah, we want to fight AI, get it back.
Exactly. I'm going to get you to help me do that one.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for your time. Like, I hope you guys enjoy this, and we'll see you next time.
Looking forward to it, man. Thank you.
All right.
Meet Courtney Reed, your local State Farm agent in Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Life moves fast, and your insurance should keep up. From auto and home to renters and life, Courtney Reed makes protecting what matters simple and affordable. Get your personalized quote today by calling 614-866-0441. Stop by 2040 Bryce Road, Suite 110 Reynoldsburg, or email Courtney at myagentcreed.com. Courtney Reed, State Farm agent coverage with a plan, and a person who knows her name. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.